In this video we're going to be taking our first look at the Asics Magic Speed 3. I'm going to be telling you if it's better than Magic Speed 2 and also whether I would take it into a half marathon. What is up everybody, and welcome to our first impressions of the Magic Speed 3, which is kind of exciting because this is much improved. Now, I hated version 2 because I thought it was dead, it was boring, it had nothing sort of sexy and exciting about it. Now, that was the polar opposite of my mate Simon, who loved the shoe, and he will be reviewing these, by the way. He has a pair incoming and he will be back on the channel and reviewing them. But I didn't like version 2, I just didn't care for it. But version 3 is much improved. Okay, so let's do stats and features actually. So we've got, like I just said, 2 layers of Flight Foam Blast Plus, which I think is one of the most exciting things about the shoe. We've got a full length P-Bax carbon infused plate. I think it's kind of a bit bottom loaded. I'll come on to that because of the feeling of the plate. We've got this motion, what's it called? Motion wrap upper, 36mm stack in the heel. We've got 7mm drop, 160 pounds, 8.2 ounces, Asics grip on the outsole, and I think that's it. Oh, fit. Watch your fit. It didn't necessarily feel like an Asics for me. Now, what do you mean by that, Fordy? Asics, I'm 9.5, dead aim. First run in the shoe, I was like, okay, that doesn't feel like a normal Asics. I then changed my sock, and it felt okay. So just be aware that if you're a little bit sensitive to sizing, it's worth noting. I think that's probably a better way of putting it. But since I've changed my socks out, it's been fine. Right, let's do things I like and then do things I don't like. And then I want to talk to you about something at the end of the video. Right, so things I like. Flight Foam Blast Plus, 2 layers, thank you very much. It's responsive, it feels fast, it feels quick. The plate, I don't know whether I'm right here, but it looks like it goes down. If that is the case, that would explain the sort of more stable and sort of more toe spring loaded motion of the shoe. It just feels less like I'm getting a snap like that and more I'm coming here and then I'm going. Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether that makes any sense, but it definitely feels more bottom loaded at the front. And it's quite interesting to feel some of these plates in terms of their position. I don't know whether you noticed that. Let me know in the comments if you do. I like the outsole. I think Asics grip here is fantastic. It feels tacky and it feels like it's really gripping on to the tarmac on the roads, which I really like. I like the racing setup, the racing feel of this shoe. I think this complements, if you have a Nimbus 25, you have this, it feels really racy. For those sort of daily workouts that need speed, and then you have the sort of confidence to then put into race. I think that sort of racing feel of the shoe versus your normal daily shoes is actually a really big positive about the shoe, because if you compare this sort of upper and the way it looks and the way it sort of feels when you put it on, compare it to like an Endorphin Speed 3, which is sort of the original crossover shoe, then this feels much more racy, much more up tempo, and much more let's go and sort of run fast, which I like. What else? I like the breathability of the upper, I like the lacing, and I think this colourway looks cracking. Okay, things I don't like, the fit, obviously. I think the price, £160, I wish it was £130, because you can get the New Balance Propel version 4, which is obviously like 2 ounces heavier, but does a similar sort of job for under £100. I think the quality is not very Asics. I don't know if it's coming out, but there's like, you can see like dollops of glue over it. It just looks very, I don't know, un-Asics. There's quite a bit of glue showing there. I'm not, yeah, and even like in the toe, I mean, I'm being pinicky here, right? Or picky. It just doesn't feel very Asics. Usually their quality is on point. But you know what? That's probably about it. Apart from the fit, which is the biggest sort of thing, and the price, there's not much here to dislike. It feels great underfoot, it feels responsive, it feels fast. I really like the toe spring, the feeling of the toe spring. Like I said, I just like the overall racing feel of it. So they've worked their magic, see what I did there, with this shoe. This is so much improved over version 2. I can't tell you how much better this is than version 2. Now with that in mind, I'm now going to take this to a half marathon. And why is that for you? Because I think this shoe needs to sit in your rotation, like I said, against maybe something like a Nimbus 25 or your daily shoe, whether it be a Brooks Ghost or whatever. Then you put this in as your up-tempo shoe, but then you should be able to take this and race in it. Now I've got to do a bit of a pacing job down in Southend at the half marathon down there. I've got to run 1:45, which is not hanging about for me. So I'm going to put this shoe on and we're going to find out what it's like in a race scenario, what it's like over the half marathon distance. So come back, that'll be a future video, and I'll let you know how this shoe holds up as a race shoe as well. But yeah, so first impressions, there's nothing really here that's negative. This is a big improvement for me versus version 2. If you liked version 2, you're going to love this. And yes, I think it can fit into your rotation versus some of the other shoes that I've mentioned. The only thing that I think that draws this back is that you still have the Endorphin Speed 3, which is just still the GOAT out there. It's still the best shoe, and it's better than this because it crosses over, it's more versatile. And like I said, you've got the Propel version 4 at under £100. So in terms of value, that offers better value. And also, you've got the Adidas Boston 12, which we're not allowed to talk about yet. So let's move on with this. I like it. I think it's much more improved than version 2. But yeah, come back when we've done that half marathon and find out how I got on with that.